Hi, Zubair, how are you doing? Yes, I'm fine. Perfect. This is tone, isn't it? I'm not audible. And the reels and videos are there for 30 seconds and 2 minutes. This is the
Yeah,
concept.
exactly. So this point is really imperative.
But let's say you're moving to Canada tomorrow, you're migrating to
Mhm.
Canada. You will learn English in less than 7 days because your surroundings have changed. Now, in order for your survival, you have to speak to native
Hello.
speakers. Then, good morning, Zubair.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing great too. Thanks for asking.
Where are you from?
I'm from Churu, Rajasthan, which is in the northern part of India.
You're from Rajasthan.
Yeah.
All right. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ammu Alice, and I am from Kerala. What do you do, Zubair?
I'm a student and currently I'm working on my communication skills and language proficiency.
All right. And what do you study?
I am graduate now and my major is English literature.
Oh, right. English literature student. All right. So you are a
Yeah.
graduate. Okay. So your
Yeah.
graduation is complete. Now, are you preparing for interviews?
Not really. I'm just at the moment I'm totally focused on improving my communication skills and language proficiency. Very first question I have is that how to improve accuracy and fluency at the same time. For like I've seen many learners working and struggling and wrestling with these two. For instance, if they try to improve their fluency, they lack the accuracy, and if they are accurate enough, so they might lack the fluency. So, what would you advise a learner who is working and trying to improve both at the same time, accuracy and fluency?
What do you mean by accuracy?
Accuracy means to not make grammatical mistakes, or to not use like words inappropriately, I think.
So you mean you are looking for, you're asking for grammatical accuracy, correct?
Like accuracy, the accuracy of your message that you want to convey,
Okay. Then
or
let me
that's to say that you must be intelligible. Your message should be intelligible, and the people in front of you can understand easily.
All right, open your chat box. Let's narrow it down first. First one is grammatical accuracy. Grammar is very important when you want to speak the language because only then there will be a common benchmark for one to speak and the other person to listen and understand. So one is grammatical accuracy and another one is
Mm-hmm.
clarity of speech. Okay,
Clarity of
these two
speech.
things are there.
Okay.
These two things will make you an effective communicator. Now, provided when you say clarity of speech, there are two aspects involved. One is the tone of your voice, how you position your mouth, the opening of your mouth, and
Mhm.
how audible you are, how
Okay.
audible you are to the other person. All these things are equally important for clarity, isn't it? These things are the physical aspects that you can easily work on. Now, clarity of thoughts is also a factor. Only if your thoughts are very clear about a particular topic, you can actually articulate it into words, isn't it? So it is
Wow.
actually not very easy for a direct approach. It's very subjective based on the individual. That is why here a conversational model is encouraged because the tutor has a conversation with the learner, and based
Mhm.
on the learner, the tutor will suggest customized feedbacks.
Wow, that's amazing. So there are two things which are really important. So for there are some learners, for them their ideas are not organized and structured. So
Hmm.
that might be a reason they are struggling to convey their message. That might be a
Could be.
reason. Wow,
And not only that, lack of knowledge. See, for
lack
example,
of
if somebody is
knowledge.
striking a, let's say I'm talking to a CEO of a financial institution. Now, I
Mhm.
will definitely fumble and stammer because, first of all, I have no clue about that particular topic. And the second thing is, he's striking a conversation and I have nothing to contribute. So I am in a very uncomfortable position that will definitely affect the way I am speaking.
Obviously, makes sense.
Yes, so there
Nice.
are a lot of dynamics when it comes to speaking. One per one, there is no one solution for everybody. It will not work.
Yeah, it is really subjective. And what do you mean by tone, mouth, and audible?
Right. For example, let's say I'm talking to, let's say I'll rephrase the tone and write it as intonation. Okay.
Okay, now I got
Right.
it.
Now,
Intonation. Yeah.
before intonation, I'll tell you why I wrote tone. See, if I'm talking like this, hi, Zubair, how are you doing? Yes, I'm fine. Perfect. This is tone, isn't it? I'm not audible and my tone is also quite different. Now, if it is a small child, I'll say, hello, how are you doing? How's your day? So I've changed the tone, isn't it? So
Yeah.
the modulation, the frequencies with which you play around with the tone, we call it intonation. Base, again, it is subjective. It's based on the other person.
Yeah, it is actually.
Yes, yes. So you have to understand intonation, the way you open and close your mouth. Some people bite their teeth when they are speaking. So if you bite your teeth, the certain words will not be clear for the listener. That also comes under communication.
And what do you mean by clarity of speech?
Clarity of speech. There are a lot of people when I ask them a question, they'll tell me a big essay, and then I will narrow down their thought process and say, "So this is what you said." I said, they say, "Yes." So that is, they don't have clarity in their mind. So because of that, they are trying to elaborate as much as possible, and they're confusing the listener. That is something which we don't want in the real world. Nobody is interested in another person's speech if they cannot concise it. Concise and precision. Very important in today's world. Nowadays, people are not even able to focus on one particular thing for 20 minutes. Science has
Yeah,
proven that. Earlier, it was
very.
minimum 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, even the intervals, everything is based on this 20 to 30 minutes. Nowadays, people are not even able to focus on like more than 10 minutes. That is why even the reels and videos are there for 30 seconds and 2 minutes. This is the
Yeah,
concept.
exactly. So this point is really imperative. I would like to add this in my, yeah, in my personality, in my speech, because this is really important.
And
So
one more thing,
these are
it is exactly. The word is exactly. I heard the sound of J. I heard it as exactly. So if you're reading it, these words like, see, the words ending with X and S. If you have a tendency of pronouncing it as J, you have to work on that. That is a mother
yeah,
tongue influence. It is exactly the sound of X is, and the sound of S is also like a snake
yeah,
hissing. They are like X and S are like cousins in English. They have similar sounds.
it's really helpful. Yeah,
Hmm.
and how about grammatical accuracy?
Grammatical accuracy. Are you clear with the basics of grammar first? Learning is the basics. Are you clear with the grammar?
Yes, I am.
Right. For example, if I say I a teacher, is it correct?
No, it is not.
Why not?
I am a teacher
Why am?
because whenever we want to, this sentence structure is used to tell about a person's position and who they are.
Tenses shows the time of the sentence. When I say I a teacher, the knowledge is clear. This person is a teacher. But when? Is it in the past, present, or future? If you put the tense, then it is clear for the listener that it is the time frame. So am is the present
Impressive.
tense. Now the same sentence, if I say was, it means I was a
I
teacher,
was
means
a
not in the
teacher.
present
Wow,
past. I will be a teacher,
amazing,
means in the future. So tenses shows the time of the sentence.
amazing.
Right. So this is how you learn the basics. You understand why we are using it, and then only you will use it. Hmm?
Yeah,
Right. So
and
only
yeah,
yes.
yeah. Go ahead.
No, no, no. I was planning to ask you about the grammar itself. Yes, you were about to ask me something. Go ahead.
Yes, I was saying that there are some learners and they know the basics and they know some grammatical rules, even
Hmm.
though they make some mistakes whenever they open their mouth. So why
Hmm.
is that? What is
Because
the
they are not
reason?
because they are not
They have
focusing on whatever
finished.
they
They
are
have
not at all.
finished
They are finished.
so many. Yeah, they have finished so many grammar books and they have done so many exercises of those rules and practices.
Hmm.
Everything they have tried doing, but whenever they open their mouth, they end up making a lot of grammatical mistakes or sometimes silly mistakes, I would say.
Hmm. Right. I'll give you another situation, and I think you will get the answer with that. Let's say I'm planning to learn cooking, and I'm buying very expensive recipe books. I have memorized all the recipes. I remember everything in detail. Can I cook?
Not at all.
Why not? I have memorized everything. I have all the ingredients in front of me too. Why can't I cook?
You can cook, but in order for you to cook well, you will have to practice.
Yes. That is the same thing for the language. Not only language, anything that we are doing for the first time, we make a lot of errors. But gradually, with consistent practice, it becomes refined. I will not say perfect. There is no such thing as perfection. Even the native English speakers, whenever I listen to them, I'm listening to their storytelling, I'm constantly identifying the grammatical errors because I'm on this platform for 7 hours a day. I'm programmed like that now. And they use a lot of fillers. And we Indians are so bothered about our accent and fillers when they themselves are using a lot of fillers, like they say quite frequently. So I think
Yes, they do.
the permanent solution for your problem is attention while you're speaking. When I'm speaking to you now, I'm looking at you, but my concentration is divided between my thoughts and my words. Attention, I have divided it 80% on my thoughts, 20% on my speech. That,
So
that
basically,
yes,
you are saying that conscious speaking practice can help us to be more accurate.
yes. It will help you to learn the tactics. People are thinking they only need to focus on the thoughts and they can get the English correct. No, it's not possible. Hmm.
Yes.
But let's say you're moving to Canada tomorrow, you're migrating to Canada. You will learn English in less than 7 days because your surroundings have changed. Now, in order for your survival, you have to speak to native speakers. Then, because of the survival issue, you will learn things faster. That is biology. Anything which we want to, we have to survive, and we need something, we learn it faster.
Yeah, so
There are a
we
lot of
must,
aspects.
yeah, we must like the point I can take away from here. We must have a sense of urgency in order for us to achieve something.
Depends. A sense of urgency cannot be created. I gave you the example of Canada to show you that. Even if I tell you to imagine that you're in Canada, it's not possible. Right. It depends, yes. And it depends on how much you crave for it. There are learners who are very
Okay.
passionate about learning English. They are not even learning for their profession. It's something that they feel empowered when they learn a language. So in those learners, I've seen the progress or the transformation at a rapid rate. But there are other learners who have been on the platform who have completed like more than 100 sessions. They are still in the beginning stages. They are still making tense errors and they are still not able to change it.
So what do you call it?
Do I?
What they are lacking?
They are lacking the
Yeah, what is the
attention
one?
and they're not at all consistent. The bottom line is that if you really want something, you will go for it. You'll do anything to make sure you get it. But if you're not really up to it, then it will happen, but it will happen gradually.
Yes, so
Both of them.
consistency and your attention, or I would say the motivation you have, it must be, yeah, your efforts must be arduous.
What is your next query? Do you have any other query?
Mm, yeah, one more question I have, that is, mm, how to improve pronunciation. Like I know there are three sounds. I know how to pronounce them. I know how to structure my lips and mouth whenever I need to pronounce them. But whenever I open my mouth, I end up pronouncing them incorrectly. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
and like whenever I'm doing or whenever I'm pronouncing them consciously, I
Hmm.
pronounce them correctly, but whenever I'm in a conversation, I just end up pronouncing them incorrectly. So why is that? Is there anything that you can share
Hmm.
with me which can help us?
What I normally do is like this. How do you pronounce this word? Cough.
Cough.
Cough. Right. Now, certain people are pronouncing it as cough. Now, how do we correct them? I tell them to rewrite the spelling in their mind and write it in your mind as KOF. So, whenever I am pronouncing certain words repetitively in the wrong way, I immediately rewrite the pronunciation based on the original pronunciation, and that is how I rewire the brain. This is a permanent solution. But you have to
Okay.
identify which are the words that you are frequently
For
mispronouncing.
instance,
Mm,
yeah. For instance, I don't make mistakes in certain words. I make mistake in sound. For
mm,
instance, I get confused between sa and sh. This is my
mm,
problem, and I've been facing this problem and working on this.
mm,
I have like virtually mastered it, but somehow I still make mistake when yeah, once in a while whenever
mm. These
I'm in
sounds,
a
right?
conversation. Yeah, these are two sounds.
Right.
I use them interchangeably.
Yeah, right. So if you're aware that you're using it interchangeably, you already have the solution. You can tell somebody that this is a mistake, but now it is up to them. Now the ball is in your court. Like how consciously you can bring it down. So the moment you say it, pronounce it wrongly, you have to know that okay, I have pronounced it wrongly. And the more you understand this, you'll want there'll come a point where you'll be so ashamed that you'll be like, I know it and I'm still not able to correct it. That is when you pay attention to your words. Attention is very important. Whatever you do
Yes,
on
yes.
this planet Earth, if you do it attentively and if you're completely involved, it becomes close to perfect. Hmm.
Yes,
The solution is only attention. You have to correct it. The tutor can show it and tell you this is a mistake. Hmm.
I got my answers.